A Manhattan journalist is kidnapped in Iraq. His captors threaten to kill him.
Governor McGreevy's accuser heats up the he said war of words. We are live in Israel.
On guard in Athens tonight, the remarkable story of a brother and sister from Brooklyn competing in the Olympics.
You're watching NBC for New York. And now, Chuck Scarborough, Sue Simmons, Janice Huff, and Len Berman. This is News Channel 4 Olympic Edition.
Good evening. Masked militants go on television with their hostage, believed to be a New York journalist.
In an all too familiar and haunting scene tonight, Al Jazeera television showed images of an American whose life is in grave danger. That hostage may be a New Yorker working as a documentary maker in Iraq. Karen Hepp is live in the West Village right now, the home of the missing man's fiancée. Karen?
Well, there were many visitors here, friends and family gathered here tonight. FBI investigators came with what information they had to share with the family, but none of them were commenting tonight. These gunmen say the man on his knees is 36-year-old independent American journalist Micah Garin, and they will kill him in 48 hours if U.S. forces don't leave Najaf. This is a photo of Garin from his media company's website, and a statement posted yesterday says, "We are appealing to Micah Garin's kidnappers to release him." Tonight, FBI agents visited his fiancée's West Village apartment and stayed for hours. Friends say she's too upset to talk about the terrible turn of events. No one was up to speaking either at Garin's father's home in New Haven tonight. According to his website, he is working to help preserve Iraq's archaeological heritage and reporting on recent events by shooting a documentary. Garin and his translator were kidnapped Friday off the streets of a Nasiriyah market. This group calls itself the Martyrs Brigade and is believed to be linked to this Shiite cleric, Muqtada al-Sadr, whose militants have been bitterly fighting American troops for 2 weeks. There may be a break in the Najaf standoff. Just today, the cleric agreed to pull his militants out if the Americans go first. These are tense times in both Iraq and in the West Village as Garin's friends and family exchange kisses and put on brave faces during their trying vigil. Militants have given a deadline of 2 days. That's the very latest right now from the West Village. I'm Karen Hepp, News Channel 4.
All right, Karen, thank you. Now, tonight, a bus that was stuck under an overpass on the FDR Drive has been removed after a delicate and potentially explosive extraction. That bus was powered by propane. It got wedged underneath that overpass on the FDR near the 61st Street ramp. That propane tank, or the tanks, are on top of the bus, and firefighters were concerned they could ignite, so traffic was diverted while the bus was unstuck. All lanes, though, are now open.
Tonight, Senator John Corzine says he will not actively run for New Jersey governor in a special election. He made the decision after speaking with Jim McGreevy. In a statement, he said the governor made clear in our conversation his absolute intent to serve until November 15th, 2004. I accept that decision as final. Some New Jersey Democrats wanted Corzine to pressure the governor to step down before September 3rd, the cutoff date for a special election. Governor McGreevy thanked the senator tonight for his decision. And tonight, the governor's accuser tells News Channel 4 he has a message for the people of New Jersey. Golan Sipel spoke out while visiting his family in Rishon LeZion, Israel. Tim Hinton is live in Tel Aviv with the latest.
Sue, where a new day has already dawned. By this time yesterday, only the departing New Jersey governor had spoken publicly directly to Americans in English about the developing scandal involving a former advisor that's forcing him to resign.
You're going to stay here for?
In 92-degree summer sun, Golan Sipel signaled a heating up of the he said battle with Governor McGreevy when he thanked those who believe his side.
It feels great. It feels great to be with my family. And I'm very moved and very touched by the tremendous support of many people in New Jersey and throughout the U.S.
Shamefully, I engaged in an adult consensual affair with another man.
While Sipel's attorney has disputed the governor's claim that the 35-year-old State House advisor was a willing participant in a sexual liaison, Sipel himself is silent on the subject. He won't discuss details of counterclaims that New Jersey's departing chief executive perpetrated harassment and assault, nor will he provide even a hint of proof of any alleged improprieties, opting instead to offer thanks.
I've been through very difficult and troubling time. I'm here to spend time with my family and to gain strength. I thank you very much for your patience and being here. Thanks.
I know that he has a lot of girlfriends, Two of them, I know them personally.
Meanwhile, the hometown mayor who'd hired Seppel as a public relations assistant in the late 1990s now declines to identify Seppel's supposed girlfriends. That as the New York Daily News reports that a New Jersey professor has come forward claiming to be Seppel's boyfriend, rather than repeat statements made to Israeli newspapers that he's in fact not gay, or discuss allegations against his former State House boss, whom he accuses of coercing him into homosexual encounters. The public relations expert simply waved bye-bye. And in what passes for a bit of good news here for Governor McGreevey, given the opportunity, Golan Seppel failed to confirm that he intends to move from the Court of Public Opinion, where he entered today, to press his claims against Governor McGreevey in a court of law. We're live in Tel Aviv. Tim Minton, News Channel 4.
All right, Tim, thank you. Tonight, the biggest political donor in New Jersey, one of the governor's financial supporters, is headed for jail. Among the crimes committed by Charles Kushner, hiring a prostitute to seduce a government witness while a hidden camera recorded the act. A witness who happened to be Kushner's own brother-in-law. More from New Jersey reporter Brian Thompson.
Last-minute bargaining delayed his hour of reckoning, but for the man believed to be the richest in New Jersey, this was hardly Charlie Kushner's finest hour.
That is an incredibly humiliating moment for a man of Mr. Kushner's power and prestige to stand in open court and 3 times say the word guilty.
In court, Kushner admitted not just to evading taxes and making illegal campaign donations, but to retaliating against his sister by getting a New York prostitute into bed with his sister's husband, videotaping it, then mailing her the tape. His lawyer described it as being carried away with the emotion of a moment when the Kushner family was at war with itself.
That emotional turmoil sometimes makes you basically do things you would not normally do. When a father and a son fight, when a mother and a daughter have a problem.
After big-buck political contributions, Kushner was appointed to the Port Authority Board, in line to be appointed chairman by Governor McGreevey. And he sponsored Golan Seppel's work visa to come to America, though Kushner's attorney claims there has been no contact between the two for years, and Kushner has no role to play in current investigations.
Mr. Kushner is not now, nor has he ever, been cooperating in any criminal investigation against anyone.
The case against Kushner must have been overwhelming.
This is highly unusual, that you would fold your cards this quickly unless you were convinced that it was basically an unwinnable case.
1 month after charges were brought against Mr. Kushner, he has pled guilty.
How ironclad was this case? Well, sources indicate to us that Kushner's fingerprints were on that videotape of the prostitute and his brother-in-law, the one that was sent to Kushner's sister. Sentencing now scheduled for late November, 18 to 24 months, the likely term. In Newark, Brian Thompson, News Channel 4.
There will be no jail time for the captain of the Staten Island ferry that crashed last October, killing 11 people. Michael Gans has agreed to a deal with prosecutors today. He'll cooperate in the prosecution of Patrick Ryan, the city's director of ferry operations. Gans was accused of lying to Coast Guard investigators, telling them he was in the Andrew Barberi's wheelhouse at the time of the crash.
A hidden camera captured what prosecutors say is damaging evidence against a Brooklyn judge. A videotape was introduced in the trial of 2 former court officers charged with bribery for steering divorce cases to Judge Gerald Garson. Garson is charged with a separate bribery case. According to prosecutors, the tape shows an attorney placing a box of expensive cigars in Garson's desk.
The client gave them. Romeo.
Well, Garson was also in court today for a pre-trial hearing in his case. Prosecutors introduced another videotape they say showed Garson pocketing an envelope containing $1,000.
Their recovery has been called nothing short of miraculous, but tonight, one of those separated twins has suffered a small setback in 60 seconds. The newly separated twins celebrate a crucial anniversary, 2 weeks and thriving. Tonight, although one is under extra care, doctors at Montefiore Medical Center are sharing a close-up look at the boys.
They have just stunned us and delighted us with their recovery so far.
Their smiling surgeon says 2-year-old Carl and Clarence Aguirre are showing no serious problems.
They're showing no neurologic deficits at this point. They're moving all their extremities, and they're really coming back to their same old personalities. They've become quite playful. Clarence is very flirtatious with the nurses.
But Dr. David Staffenberg says Carl has developed a urinary infection and underwent a brief operation for fluid buildup in his head wound.
We took Carl down to the operating room today for a 25-minute procedure, again along the same lines, that in spite of the fact that Carl is doing well along with his brother Clarence, we know that there's still a long road of healing.
Their mother Arlene cuddles Carl for his camera close-up, and grandmom Evelyn shares time entertaining both. The twins got separate rooms last night to prevent the spread of any infection. While Clarence explores his knees and toes, his mom wants to thank thousands of well-wishers.
I'm going to say thank you for those people who sent those emails. Thank you, thank you.
The twins were separated in a 17-hour operation.
Well, tonight the report card on summer school for New York City kids is out. Compared to last summer, twice as many failing third graders who were in danger of being left back passed and will be promoted. Still, only 41% of the 10,000 students who were held back earned automatic promotion to the fourth grade. The mayor says his plan is working.
Hundreds more students who are being promoted weren't just passed along. They earned it. We discovered they needed help. We gave them additional instruction, and now they are going to the fourth grade.
The Summer Success Academy is part of the city's effort to end the practice of social promotion.
Just when you thought it was safe to go outside, those 3 H's are looming again. Janice's forecast is next.
And live from Athens, Jane Hansen reports on the only American woman in Olympic fencing competition. She is from Brooklyn.
Have a story idea to share? Call News Channel 4 tip line toll free at 866-639-7244 or log on to WNBC.com. Let News Channel 4 work for you.
In Athens, it's all in the family. One very proud Brooklyn mom is enjoying the Olympics for 2 very good reasons.
Both of her children are competing in the games. Jane Hansen is live in Athens with the story. Jane?
Hello, Sue. Good morning to both of you. For the mother of Aaron and Keith Smart, well, she knows exactly how far it is to Athens from downtown Brooklyn. It is a journey that cost her hundreds of miles, long hours, and a loss of sleep. But it was all worth it because she got to see her daughter perform in the Fencing Olympic Hall.
It's great making the team.
Erin Smart fenced for her country and her heart today. Her nervous mother and big brother and teammate Keith excited for her. You had breakfast with her this morning. Is she nervous?
No, I wouldn't say she's nervous, more excited, but hopefully that might be just a defense mechanism for nervousness. So I think she's going to do really well today, though, because she's just really ready to get on the strip and compete and show the world how good she really is.
Mom hasn't spoken to her since Monday night, so I guess she didn't want my coaching.
It's quite a feat to have one child in the Olympics, but to have 2. What did you do raising them?
They're special kids. They have a drive and just a lot of nurturing. People tried to tell me years ago when they saw their talent, and I'm like, could you tell me again when I had the late nights and everything? I like, Mom's driving for 50 hours.
Erin's opponent today in round 1, an equally excited young woman from Venezuela. It was give and take for all of the 9-minute match. At one point, it looked like Erin would tie and force the 1-minute overtime. But in the end, time just ran out. Even so, Erin Smart was gracious in defeat.
I only had a few seconds left to make the actions that I needed to make, and it wasn't enough time. It was really close. Going to the bout, I thought I'd be a lot stronger at the beginning, but I wasn't, so it happens. I'll survive.
All that training and it's over in a flash. Erin says now she'll do some sightseeing and you watch her brother Keith, who competes again on this Thursday. Also in Greece on Wednesday, for the first time in 16 centuries, historic Olympia, the site of some ancient games. The shot put competition held in the ancient stadium. In order to preserve the field as an historic site, Greek organizers limited the number of spectators to 15,000 people. There are no grandstands, electronic scoreboards, or floodlights. It's also the first time women competed in Olympia. In the ancient games, only men were allowed, and the athletes didn't wear clothes. By the way, American Adam Nelson won the silver. Mayor Bloomberg is expected here in Athens in just a few hours. He will be pushing for the 2012 Olympic Games to be held in New York City. That's it for us. We'll be back, of course, with a full report about the mayor's activities. Back to you, Sue and Chuck.
All right, Jane, thank you.
Thank you very much. And it's time now for the weather. And we were talking about the 3 H's coming back.
They're back, Chuck, and they will be around going into the weekend. Hazy, hot, or warm, and humid. Let's go outside now. We've already got two of those, the hazy and the humid part out there tonight, and a few scattered clouds. Our temperature in the park is 74 degrees. It won't drop much farther from where it is right now, so you can expect a pretty warm night across the area. Winds from the south will keep it warm and muggy, and that's what we have right now. Humidity at 85% and the pressure falling 29.99. Our pollen report, courtesy of UMD&J New Jersey Medical School. The ragweed is showing up. It's the season now, but everything is low from weeds to mold spores. Here are the headlines. The humidity sticks around into the weekend, and there's also a threat for thunderstorms each day. By Sunday, though, cooler, drier air, and we'll look forward to that. Area temperatures mainly in the 70s, although Sussex, New Jersey is at 64. It's pretty mild all the way back to the Great Lakes, Detroit, down to Columbus, Ohio, Washington, D.C. Just about all the temperatures, upper 60s to low 70s. We're seeing a series of disturbances rotating around this main low pressure system over the northern Great Lakes. One more disturbance now moving through western Pennsylvania tonight. This comes close to us in the morning, and tomorrow may trigger some more thunderstorms. And until that cold front actually makes it through the area, that's going to be the weather pattern for the next couple of days. So overnight, we're looking at 60s to around 70. With some patchy fog. During the afternoon today, a chance for thunderstorms to be scattered around. We had a couple today. There'll be a few more tomorrow with highs mainly in the low to mid 80s. So warmer and, yes, more humid. Beach forecast, if you're going to the shore, looks pretty good. Just make sure you head inland when you see those thunderstorms pop up. Temperature 70s to near 80. You should have plenty of sun during the early part of the day. Travel-wise, showers around Denver, Los Angeles, 74. A few thunderstorms, Dallas, 88, 90 for Atlanta later on this afternoon. For us tonight, muggy with patchy fog. Later in the morning, hazy, humid, 75 around 8 or 9 o'clock. And the afternoon looks like a typical summer afternoon. Muggy, hazy with a spotty thunderstorm and highs in the low 80s. Mid-80s Friday, a warmer day. Could see some storms in as well. As Saturday, a better chance because we've got the cold front coming in. That'll pass through on Saturday night and then leaving us with lower humidity, nice comfortable temperatures, upper 70s to around 80 on Sunday and Monday. So at least we'll be able to salvage at least half the weekend, I hope, Sunday.
Okay, the glass is half full.
It's half full always.
Sure. Thank you.
Still ahead, they say never let them see you sweat. Now there's a new way to stop it.
And from Oprah, the talk show host, to Oprah, the juror. Her verdict in a murder trial is out tonight.
In sports, a remarkable Olympic comeback in men's gymnastics. Len Berman wraps up day 5 in Athens.
And a rough comeback for the Moose in Minnesota. Deb Kaufman is next with sports.
Deb Kaufman here on a night when America seems to be gaining momentum in the Olympics.
Yeah, 2 straight nights, 2 stirring relay races, and day 5 of competition was shaping up to be a ladies' night in Athens when an American gymnast made the night his own. From the pool to the gym, here's Len Berman.
Well, here at the Olympics, it was a day of history in more ways than one.
Oh! In the Olympic Games, you can't fall like that and win the all-around title. This is a disaster.
What a story in gymnastics. Paul Hamm overcoming a fall onto the judges' table to claim gold for the U.S. in the men's all-around. That's a first. Hamm dazzled on the high bar as he narrowly edged the South Korean for gold. He won by 12 1/1000ths of a point. It's a judging sport. Maybe they should have just called it a tie with the Korean.
The routine of a lifetime right there.
I'm feeling amazing. It really all hasn't sunk in yet. I was not expecting to win this meet after the vault, and I just battled through. I knew if I wanted to get any medal, I would have to have spectacular performances, and I did.
And history was also made in ancient Olympia. That's where the games began. They held the shot put today. American Adam Nelson won silver. He's from Athens, Georgia. In the pool, the U.S. won gold in the women's 800-meter freestyle relay, and they did it in dramatic fashion, breaking swimming's oldest world record.
My first time being a relay and a world record in first place. I am so stoked. Yeah, first gold medal. Thanks, Nat. The way to finish my meet.
And in the marquee men's event, the 100-meter free, Holland's Peter van den Hogenbond outdueled Ian Thorpe. The Americans couldn't have had a worse day in tennis. Andy Roddick lost in the third round to Fernando Gonzalez of Chile. Venus Williams was ousted by Mary Pierce. On top of that, Lisa Raymond and Chanda Rubin also lost.
This is tough. I mean, I think with each player, it's personal how big it is. Some guys really don't care that much. I cared a lot. So it's not the biggest thing in our sport, but it's the biggest thing in sports.
But 47-year-old Martina Navratilova, representing the United States, participating in her first Olympic Games, is still alive in women's doubles. This is Len Berman, News Channel 4 at the Olympics.
Thank you, Len. So the United States starting to flex its muscle in the overall medal count with 10 gold and 10 silver, 29 in total. After 5 days of competition, China has 11 gold. Australia now further back with 16. Not to baseball, and the Yankees' Mike Mussina, coming back from elbow problems, made his first start since July 6th and did not get off to a great beginning. The second pitch he threw, Shannon Stewart deposits in the seats. A solo shot makes it 1-0 in the first inning. More trouble for Mussina in the fourth. That's Christian Guzman drilling one to right center off the baggy in Minnesota. The double scores two. The Twins take a 3-0 lead. They've had their way with the Yankees the last two nights. Stewart again. This is a double. Guzman comes around to score. The Twins take a 4-run lead. Mussina gives up 4 runs, 5 hits. In just 4 innings, the Twins beat the Yankees for a second straight night, 7-2. In Boston, the Red Sox taking on the struggling Blue Jays after a 4-run first. Bill Miller adds to it, driving in Orlando Cabrera all the way from first. Alex Rios has a little trouble in right. Miller ends up on third, 5-1 Sox. They hang on to win at 6-4, and now they're 8 games in back of the Yankees. The Mets and Rockies were rained out in Colorado. Former Yankee, current Astro Andy Pettitte will have elbow surgery next week and will miss the rest of the year. And his buddy Roger Clemens gets bit by the injury bug as well. The Rocket straining his right calf after running out this 2-run single against the Phillies. He left the game right then and there. He's listed as day-to-day. Houston won the game 9-8, but not a good day for the pair of former Yankees, but a very good day for the American swimmers, the American gymnastics team, and the women go for the all-around tomorrow night.
Great. All right, Deb.
Thank you,
Thank
Deb.
you very much. We'll be right back.
NBC4's local coverage of the Olympic Games is brought to you by Bank of America, official sponsor of the 2004 U.S. Olympic team. Samsung, excellence is within everything we create. Samsung Electronics, the all-new 270 horsepower Acura TL, a higher form of performance.
Oprah Winfrey has done her duty. The talk show host is part of a Chicago jury that convicted a man of murder. Her involvement at the trial turned into a media frenzy. Jurors deliberated for more than 2 hours before bringing in the first-degree murder conviction. Winfrey called the trial a huge reality check and said it was the saddest experience of her life. She plans to do a show about the trial next week with the other jurors.
Botox, that injectable toxin used to treat everything from wrinkles to migraines, has won FDA approval to combat excessive sweating. It seems the Botox injected into different spots in the armpit blocks the nerves that stimulate sweating. The new study found that 91% of those getting Botox treatments cut their perspiring in half. Experts believe Botox can also be effective against sweaty palms and sweaty feet, but the FDA has not ruled on its use in those areas.
Well, okay, now I'm going to get a shot now. I'm sold. We'll be right back.